Hey everyone, it's Mona here at Craft Clutch. There are so many creative people in the world and all over the internet and all over YouTube, and I feel like you can't ever know enough of them. And today I am pleased to have done a collaboration with my friend Mark Montano. And some of you may recognize him. He's been on TV. He has a YouTube channel, Make Your Mark, and he also has a website. He's written 10 craft books, and he's got a show on PBS, which is also called Make Your Mark. And on top of all that, he is a super nice guy. So be sure to go check out Mark's channel and the video that he did. We decided to do art resin pieces, and my theme was a mermaid, and he went with a butterfly theme. I think the projects turned out great, so let's hurry make this mermaid project so you can head over to Mark's channel, and don't forget to subscribe while you're there. For this collab with Mark, we're both doing art pieces. I'm using a 12 by 12 canvas, and we're just going to see where we end up. Now, I've used these PBO, I don't know how to say it, paints before in the moon and the prism. And I'm going to incorporate anything that's either a white or a purple or a blue into the background because they give fun textures as they dry. They are a little stinky, I will say that. And I'm not giving this a whole lot of thought. I'm going to mix them up. I'm just using stir sticks. I'm not even using a paintbrush. I'm going to let it kind of go wherever it wants, because I'm trying to just give it kind of an oceany, watery background. I'm going to run off the canvas, because if it drips down the side, that's good. I'm just going to smush this stuff around a little bit. Alright, there's tons of paint on there. I'm going to just make sure I don't have any of the canvas without any paint. Then I'm going to let all of this just dry. The canvas is mostly dry and it looks pretty cool. And I'm going to set it up on 4 bottle caps. I didn't do that last night. I'm not sure why. I definitely should have, because some of the paint dripped down and it wasn't quite dry this morning. So this lets the airflow underneath there and lets things dry. So now we got to work on our mermaid. If you guys remember, quite a while ago I made a mermaid coaster, and I used this image, and I knew I wanted to use it again for something, and this seems like the perfect time. So I printed it out on my laser printer on cardstock, and I cut it out. And then I took a black permanent marker and went around the edge so there wasn't any kind of a telltale white edge around it. Now, to adhere her, it's Mod Podge time, and I'm using the Super Gloss Mod Podge. So I'm going to just paint the Mod Podge on the back. So I want to make sure it's well adhered and sealed, because we are going to work with some resin on here. I'm going to actually put Mod Podge over the whole thing, but first I'm just going to kind of concentrate on the center where they're going to be. I'm going to put her, I think, right around there. Now I'm going to paint over them, then I'm going to rub them down to make sure they're well adhered. Now I'm going to go over the whole thing. While that's drying, I have a little sand left over from vacation, and I'm going to add that to this because I want to give it some dimension and some texture. So I'm going to take some of the Mod Podge, mix it in with the sand, and that's going to make the sand darker. And to offset that, I use white glitter. You can use fine, you can use chunky. In this case, I'm using chunky, and it helps brighten everything up. So with my hands, I'm just going to kind of give it a sandy bottom, but there's no right or wrong consistency to this mixture. You just do it until it's comfortable for you to work with it. Now obviously I'm using gloves because that makes life a whole lot easier. The sand is on the bottom, and now I have these teeny tiny little seashells, which I have left over from when I made Coco's Beach House Doghouse. So I'm going to use some of them because they're so small. They're perfect to add to the bottom of the ocean here. And this will add more texture again. So once you have those on there, you go as crazy or not crazy as you want with that. I'm going to take my paintbrush and a little more Mod Podge, and I'm going to just go over the shells, and it'll drip down onto the sand and make sure they're well adhered. Now I feel like the ocean's a pretty magical place, and therefore things shimmer in the ocean. And I'm going to use this very fine, it's called Glamour Dust, and I'm going to sprinkle this around the shells. I kind of feel like anything in the ocean is going to kind of shimmer and sparkle anyway, and I'm going to kind of just do it over the, specifically around the shells, but just over the sand in general. And while the Mod Podge is wet, it's just going to stick right to it, so we don't have to do anything in addition to that. But I'm going to do a little something else. I love, love, love glitter. I have this very fine blue, so I'm going to put it into a teeny tiny cup. Some more of the Glamour Dust and throw that into another one. I'm going to add some Mod Podge to the various glitters. Mix it around. I'm going to take my toothpick and my glitter, and I'm going to kind of give her a glow about her. So very thinly. I don't want to get it on her too much. If it does, it's okay because she's a mermaid. So I'm going to tap it on and kind of just drag it out a little bit to kind of give her a glow. Okay, I did a very condensed version of the same thing with the glitter around the fish. Now I'm going to do something very similar with the blue, but I'm just going to kind of take it around certain areas and almost kind of blend it into the wave. So once this first layer dries, I'll come back and put a second layer of the Mod Podge over everything. My Mermaid has dried. I put actually 3 coats of the Mod Podge on there. I have 4 ounces of the resin. I'm going to pour it right from the center. There's obviously going to be dripping off the edges, which is why I have the parchment paper underneath. Okay, I'm going to spread it around and make sure it gets to the edges. After you let it sit for a few minutes, take your lighter, run it over to pop any bubbles that might be rising to the surface, and then let it sit a minimum of 12 hours before you handle it. So here it is all finished. I'm going to bring it a little closer. I don't know if you can see it, but I put the glitter flakes all over the place. You can see the glitter flakes on the bottom by the seashells. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below, and if you like this project, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Remember to go check out Mark's channel and his video, the butterfly resin art piece. And while you're over at his channel, be sure to subscribe. He comes up with some of the funnest, craftiest stuff ever. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's a crafting inspiration, and be sure to check out all of his links. I have them all in the description below. So thank you for watching. We will see you next time. If you like my project, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you like Mark's project, be sure to give him a thumbs up over on his channel. We'll see you next time. Happy crafting and stay safe.